everyone, and welcome to T-Bird News. I'm Star.
And I'm Michael.
Let's get started. New year, new me. At least that's what they're saying. Here's TJ Riccio with a brief history of New Year resolutions, as well as what resolutions the NBHS community is making for 2024.
A New Year's resolution is a promise you make to yourself to better yourself for the new year. Let's see what students in North Branford are doing for the New Year's resolution.
The ancient Babylonians are said to have been the first people to make New Year's resolutions, some 4,000 years ago. They were also the first to hold recorded celebrations in the honor of the New Year. Nowadays, we celebrate New Year's Eve all over the world in different ways. Some popular examples of New Year's resolutions are to quit smoking, eat healthier, lose weight, exercise more, etc. I think it is important to make New Year's resolutions to better yourself in the new year. On average, only 9% of people actually keep up with their New Year's resolution. 36% of people don't even make it out of January. Let's see what North Branford students' New Year's resolutions are.
Who am I here with today?
Jake Pedersen.
Jake, I'm asking you a question.
What's that question, man?
What are you trying to do differently in the new year?
Definitely get back in the gym a little more with this big guy right here.
Okay. Alrighty.
My New Year's resolution is to get on a new diet and drop some weight and get in shape for this new year.
Talking about, baby. What's New Year's resolution, Mr. White?
To get in better health. My health is my wealth. Alright?
Thanks.
Those are some resolutions from North Branford students and staff. I hope you guys the best.
I hope everybody has a happy and healthy holiday. This is T-Bird News, and I'm TJ Riccio.
Last marking period, we tried something new during Flex Block. Specialty Flex was introduced, and here is Brandon Longo with more insight on it.
Here at North Branford High School, there are many different options during Flex. Let's see what students and teachers think. During Specialty Flex, students have many options on what they could do, stuff like card games or even traditional Flex. There are Flexes for every hobby. There are sports Flexes and there are coloring Flexes. Students have all the control on what they could do. Now here's Ms. Palomini with her thoughts.
So my Flex was designed to have students deal with the fish that we're bringing in for the Trout in the Classroom initiative. We have 2 fish tanks that are small that hold 3 fish pretty much a piece, and then we have 50 fish that are coming on January 11th that will be raising from small eggs to fry and then released into the rivers in North Branford.
New to NBHS is aquatic biology. If you like fish, this is the Flex for you.
Right now we do a walk, take a hike Flex, but I put out 2 proposals, one for traveling, like researching travel if kids want to travel, and then the other is designing a children's book if you like to do literature stuff. So we'll see which one works.
Can you tell me about the Take a Hike Flex?
It was for literally taking a walk around the school. We were going outside now that it's cold weather. Some people don't necessarily want to go outside. Some people don't remember to bring their jackets. So that's why I did proposals for different Flexes in T3.
New Flexes means new friends. In these specialty Flexes, you're with students in every grade. If you're struggling making new friends, this is the time to do it. Who am I here with?
I'm AJ Siegel.
And I'm Matt Clowman.
What Flexes do you guys take?
I'm in Take a Hike with Miss Oscar Miller.
I am too, and I'm also in aquatic biology with Miss Palomini.
How do you feel about those Flexes?
Oh, they're good. It's a nice break from the classes that I take all day.
Yeah, in aquatic biology we get to raise fish, and it's very intriguing.
And in Take a Hike, we get to take a nice break outside and go for a walk.
Thank you. As you can see, there's a bunch of diverse Flexes, and students are loving them. For T-Bird News, I'm Brandon Longo.
With the new school still in progress, PE classes have been finding creative ways to keep the students motivated and mobile. Michael Budd has the story.
This year we have 2 new gym teachers, Mr. DeLucia and Mr. Kevorkian. I'm here to see how they have been adjusting with no gym. This year there are 2 new PE teachers, Mr. DeLucia and Mr. Kevorkian. They are pretty familiar throughout the school. Due to the remodeling of the high school, there is no gym for the students to participate in, but the new PE teachers have figured out ways to get their students engaged. Here is the ways they have been doing it.
Getting our students engaged, we have to be on the ball with, what we have planned for our students. We have to make sure that equipment's ready, we're ready to go. It's definitely a challenge being in a small space. We don't have the gym that often, but when we do, we have things mapped out ahead of time where we're able to get the kids up and going in that small space.
Now here's Mr. Kevorkian.
So in PE, we get students engaged by doing things that we think are going to be interesting, and then if we do them and they're not so interesting, we'll modify them so that everybody in the class finds enjoyment out of what we're doing.
Even though they have found ways to engage their students, there are many challenges faced in this new environment.
There's definitely some big challenges we face without a gym. We can't do a lot of our traditional units that we would do in the past, such as volleyball units, badminton units, basketball units. We've had to definitely make use of the fields outside, the tennis courts, but now that the weather's getting cold, we are really restricted from what we can use. I mentioned earlier that we have the gym that's only first block on both days, and we've been utilizing the lobby of the auditorium because it's a bigger space.
So it's been difficult. It's been interesting. Each of the PE teachers, we have one class where we could use the NBIS gym, but for the most part, we have to get creative with space. So we've been outside when it's warm, so we've utilized that space. We've gone out to the track. We've used the field. We've used the tennis courts, the basketball courts, and then more recently, we've been using the space outside the auditorium, which doesn't sound like it's great, but for smaller classes, it works.
The PE teachers also have ideas for the new gym.
I have no doubt it's going to be beautiful. There's going to be plenty of space for us to do all types of different activities. I hope our students are, excited for it to be, arriving hopefully soon for the beginning of next school year, and I'm ready to get going in it.
Mr. Kevorkian has more news about the new gym.
Yeah, so I've seen some designs of the new gym. It looks fantastic. Looks like they've got a weight room that's kind of overlooking the gym. I'm really excited to see it once it's finished.
And that's how the new PE teachers have adapted to the new environment. For T-Bird News, I'm Michael Budd.
This year, seniors in Mr. Drexler's media literacy class are completing an interesting unit about video games and their connection to our culture. Let's check it out. Games such as Spider-Man, Mario, and Sonic were used to teach students about the importance of video games in our culture and how they can be used to tell stories and improve problem solving. Stop! Students took turns handing off the controller to one another as they each had the opportunity to participate. Throughout the unit, students were tasked with completing a series of questions that analyzed how fun the games were and how video games can be used to educate students and increase their problem-solving skills. Here's Mr. Drexler with more details.
So basically right now we had done some research into consoles when they started to get big, different platforms, and in the 1990s we talked about the differences, not just with the gaming itself, but connecting it into our advertising, marketing, how each gaming system put forward all their different business plans and how they managed to gain different amounts of market share based on user experience, all sorts of different things that we've been studying. So this is a chance for the kids to essentially try out what they were studying and look at it from the perspective that both businesses who would have sold these products as well as consumers who would have bought them would have seen it in the 1990s. And the second part of this will be we bring in more modern gaming and we discuss the differences in user experience, marketing, and all of those different things from here where we had it in the early 1990s all the way until the games that the kids currently play in the systems that they're familiar with.
It's cool to see how video games can be used in an English class. For T-Bird News, I'm Josh Dion.
Another obstacle that has to be overcome is the facilities for our winter sports teams, primarily both our boys and girls basketball program. Gabby Biggio is down at Jerome Harrison for more.
With the construction of the new gym, basketball season is going to look a lot different this year. Let's take a deeper look. The boys and girls basketball teams are playing their home games this season at Jerome Harrison. Playing at Jerome definitely has its ups and downs. Practices might feel familiar, but when it comes to game time, things are going to be a whole new look.
I like playing at JHS because the crowd gets into it, and then that's what gets us hyped up as players. It feels really good.
Spectators are right up against the court, and the bench isn't in its usual spot. Captain Braden Burns tells us what he likes about playing at Jerome.
I personally like it. It's a little small, but 50 people makes it sound like 100. So a lot more energy, it seems like, in the gym, but we could use some more seating.
Here are the girls' captains and their perspectives.
It was a surprise at first, but it's not as bad as we thought. We got used to the conditions, and we've been practicing there a lot, so we got used to it, and we're working pretty well together.
Obviously it's way different than your regular basketball courts because there's open space. There's a lot more space on the bleachers and the stands for our student section and our fans. But I do have to say, we usually play better at Jerome anyway. Whether we're home or away, we always play better at home. So I think as long as we have it home, and it's gonna work, and we're gonna get the dub regardless. So
I really like it. At first it kind of sucked, it's very full circle for me and my teammates, because for most of us it's where we played our first ever basketball game. So it's very nice.
This season has been a learning curve for the players, fans, and coaches, but everyone seems to be adapting quickly. With T-Bird News, I'm Gabby Biggio.
That's it for T-Bird News. I'm Star.
And I'm Michael.
I hope you all have a good weekend.